Well, hi, everybody. It's always good to be back. I want to talk. Maybe I should apologize for the state trooper glasses. I'm having migraine and light sensitivity issues. So these are like the perfect lens. They shade me enough to help the light sensitivity, but they're not so dark that I can't see. And it's appropriate because today we're going to talk about debilitating pain. I've done another video on the pain scale, and if you've seen that one, it just goes into, where you would expect to be and how you would be feeling. But when you have this type of pain, like on the regular pain scale, if you get up to, 8, 9, you're going to be going to the emergency room. But with this type of pain, you're not going to be doing that because you have a problem that's already been identified, diagnosed, and medicated. So there's really not a lot that they can do for you at the emergency room. So, and this is pain that doesn't go away after some point. It lasts, I don't know if I'm going to call it debilitating. I would say 3 months. And and I am in that period right now. I'm about 3 months into it. So I thought it would be good to talk about this while it's happening, because I know this happens to a lot of people with chronic illness. And I figured out kind of a way through, and that's what I want to share with you today. The first thing I think is the crisis. Like, I think for me, I did okay at first, but then as it goes on and lasts into weeks and months, it's sort of like a cheese grater, and it's just grating away at your mind, body, and spirit. And you start to sort of break down. And that breakdown point is actually important because that's where you can sort of begin to take some control back. So, and again, what I'm going to tell you is not going to be everyone's experience. It's a model so that you can get an idea and use it in your own situation. Because I haven't studied this kind of pain, I don't know if it's not the same for every ailment, but I think there are enough things that are similar that this can still be helpful. So I hit this night where I'm like, I just can't do this anymore. And that's not a place you want to be because there's no options. So um the next morning when I woke up, that was kind of in the middle of the night. And the next morning when I woke up, I'm like, okay, how am I going to get out of this? And it was a crisis. Like in regular life, it kind of goes like this, but you get to a crisis, it's like this. And the good thing about that is that all that disruption and chaos gives you room to see things in a different way. It gives you, it shakes up your normal state enough so that new stuff can come in and you can eventually get growth from that. I just want you to know that there's an opportunity in your crisis to claw your way up a little bit. And maybe the next time you get these bouts of pain, it won't be as bad. That's what I'm hoping. This is my first time. The first thing I realized is I had to reach out. And so I started calling some trusted friends and asking them if they would just check in on me once a week, just anything to get some human contact in, because I was alone too much. And that's not good. It's not good in general, and it's especially not good when you're having a lot of pain. And that effect of people, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I love people, and being around people distracts me for just a few minutes and gives you that break and that relief. And that's really important. Even if it only lasts 10 or 15 minutes, it still gives you a break. I also reached out to get more caregivers. I have caregivers, but I only have them 2 days a week. So that was my second thing, because I can't take care of my, ADL, activities of daily life, when I have this much pain. I just, I try to keep my teeth brushed. That's about that's about it. because, like I said, you just have these little windows. So that also gave me some relief. I think the most helpful thing that I did is I kind of waited till I was calm and let my mind go kind of blank. And I just asked my body the question, what is contributing to this pain? And I've done this many times, so it's easy for me. It may not be so easy for you the first time. And sometimes it actually works better if you ask yourself why you're in pain, not horrible pain, but in enough so that that may shake out an answer. When I asked myself that question, the very first thing I saw was this perfectionist little girl that I was, and how much frustration and anger was attached to that. Even though I've healed from that situation that caused that, it was still down there, like something you forgot in the closet. And I could see right away that some of my current pain, those same feelings of frustration and anger are surfacing because it's linked to this older stuff. So, I don't need that anymore. So, in the garbage. And as soon as I did that, I felt a little better. It's like I made it up a little rung. And then when you do that, you kind of clear a little space so that you can think more clearly. You don't think clearly with this kind of pain, because that's just not how humans work, at a certain point. Like when you're afraid or threatened or stressed, you can't think clearly. So I realized that in that freed space, I could figure out something else that I might be able to do on my own that I didn't already know to help pain. And somewhere somebody mentioned something about migraines that I didn't know. I don't even remember what it was, but it's like, oh, I didn't know that. So I found a documentary because migraine's an old disease. A lot of the thinking that used to be right is not seen the same way anymore. And so I ended up at a yoga site. And if I ever become a pretzel, I can do some of the postures that she showed to that help migraine pain. But she also had herbal type cures, because the thing I learned in that documentary that really gave me a new place to start was that migraine is a genetic defect. So that means you have genetic defect in your brain. And one of the things that occurs over time, or one of the things that goes with that, is that you have a hypersensitive nervous system, because little things, little channels, nerve channels that are supposed to open and close, have a few faulty ones in there where they don't close, and things just fall right through, and it causes this chain reaction. So that really gave me some place to start from, and that's how I ended up at the yoga site. Because it's like, okay, what can I do to calm down the nervous system? It may be genetically defective, but surely I can do something. So, like I said, the postures, and some of you may be able to do them. I think that would be great. But she also talked about herbal medications, or herbal decoctions is what they're called. A decoction is when you put herbs and flowers and things in water and let them sit, and then you strain it and drink that. And I was excited about that one because it was something I could do. And she said that that brings immediate relief. And that is really crucial to have things that can bring you immediate relief. And so I'm going to try that. And the other thing I thought about is, well, maybe there's some kind of support group for chronic pain. I'd never thought of that before. But again, once you open your mind, new things start to occur to you. So I went online, and there are online support groups for chronic pain. And within 5 minutes, I had three sites that looked promising. I have to warn you that some of these sites are support groups that you have to pay for. because they're run by professionals. And I think in a way that's good, because a professional can handle a group better than a lay person just because they have more knowledge. But part of me just, it's like I'm already paying for so many other things that I just don't have the money. So I'm just trying to say there's a range for everybody. And I picked the one that I'm going to use, and I will let you know how well that works for me. And that's not only a support group, it's just that human contact and talking with other people who understand what you're going through. Because the reason I said at the beginning that you need trusted friends is that a lot of people just don't know what to do and they don't know what to say. And don't judge those people, because I remember being 18 and there was a new family member and it was just she and I in the kitchen, and she had a total emotional breakdown where she ended up sobbing on the floor. And I looked at her and then I walked away and took a shower because I did not know what to do. So it's not that the person doesn't care, it's just that they may not know what to do. Sometimes people also say things that are can feel insensitive, and you just have to remember that not everybody is overflowing with empathy and or has the capability to deal with that. None of us are capable of everything. So again, for that, don't take that personally. That's on, just don't take that personally, because it's not about you and somebody being mean to you, really. It's about that person's issues, whatever they may be. So that's why it's really important to choose the right people to talk to. And even then, sometimes you have a chance to educate a little bit. Like one person suggested counseling, and I I pointed out that counseling, even if you do it online, that's an hour where you might have to talk to somebody with a migraine, and where you have to talk enough to cause a migraine. And where if you get that migraine at the last minute, you're going to have to pay for that session, because that's how that works. And also, I felt that once the pain was gone, I would be fine in 30 seconds. So I sort of addressed that a little bit and said, it's not that I need counseling, I just need more contact. You might not feel good enough to do that, and that's fine too. But I'm just saying, if you have that opportunity to educate a little bit, do that for that person, because nobody is born knowing about everything and they're not familiar with these kinds of subjects. Last thing I want to talk about is anxiety. I think the stress of that type of pain, for me, it creates a huge amount of anxiety. And that's what was just flaring up like rockets. And I didn't even realize it, because you're already so distanced from your normal reality that you don't notice that. And you can't think that clearly. So it feels real. And I wasn't I started taking my anxiety medication because I realized you need to be taking this as well, because they're just running away. So I think that's all I have for today. I'm proud that I got through this and was able to talk to you, because I think it is really an important subject and I don't think it's addressed much. So I hope this will help. And I always enjoy being with you. Please like and subscribe if you want to. We'll see you next time.